to my song.
It's your man, Chris Nella, and I am here with a very special holiday edition of Nella Scope, the podcast. I'm the host, creator, and founder of the internationally listened to podcast, Nella Scope. We help creatives live their best lives and make the grind 100 times smoother. Now, I've also created Breathe, the Breathe Movement, hashtag Breathe. And what we do, we help creatives, we promote well-being. So, without further ado, this episode is simply entitled Happy, Merry, Mental Holidays. We want to talk about a couple of ways to prepare yourself for the following year. So let's go ahead and jump into it. For some, the holidays are not happy. They're not cheerful. It's a mournful moment. It's a sad, grievous moment. But in that moment, I want to come to you today and let you know there's hope. I want to talk about 2 ways to have a happy, merry, mental holidays. Now, I'm not a licensed physician, but I've lived half of a decade, and I want to share my experiences to help everyone listening to my voice avoid some of the pitfalls that I had to incur. So I want to help as many people as I can. And I'll start with number one. Number one, for the person that you're mourning or grieving because they left during the holidays. They're no longer here. You can remember everything they've done for you. You can remember the smiles, the laughter, the cheer. Why aren't you focusing on that part? Number one, the person that you're remembering in a mournful state, they wanted to be remembered in a joyful state. I can guarantee if you ask Uncle Bruh, Auntie Pat, Cousin Pete, if you had a chance to just find them wherever they are and say, Uncle Pete, would you want me to celebrate and release these 100 doves and these 32 balloons with Pete on them every year? They're going to look at you and say, no, and save that money. No one that has the ability to be mourned wants you to celebrate them in a saddened state. And that's the facts. If you ask anybody, they want to be remembered in their best life. So what you have to do is focus on the good points, and not in a mournful state, but focus on the good points and don't let it take over your life in this holiday season, going into the next year, preparing for the next year. Remember them in a very joyful way, and don't let it consume your holiday season. Which leads me to number 2, forgive. However, I'm going to keep it 100 with you guys, because as I always do, you want to forgive, but you want to learn the process to forgive. Now, again, I'm not a licensed physician. I just got 50 years on y'all. So forgiving, let's keep it 100. It's not easy. If anyone says that it's easy, I admire you. It wasn't easy for me until I learned this process that I'm about to teach. Learning the process to forgive. Simply, in learning the process, you have to learn how to unlayer the moment. You have to learn, and I know unlayer is not a technical term. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I say what makes sense. You have to unlayer the moment. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. When I was in high school and in the marching band, one of my friends was actually the drum major. And this is a real life event. I'm leaving out the names, but one of my dear friends was the drum major. During band rehearsal, he made a joke towards me. And when I say the band room erupted with laughter and sneers and pointing all towards me. I'm going to be really honest with you. It took me some years to get over it. I compressed it down, but it was something that actually stuck with me for a while, because in my mind, and I'm saying this because I know this is what we do, which leads to the continual pressing down or mourning. In my mind, I painted him as a 1989 person creating a painful moment in my life. And in my mind, that picture stayed. Now, mind you, he's a totally different person. He's much more mature. I can almost guarantee that in your situation, it's probably the same. Some of these people have went on to be pastors, counselors, policemen, mothers, and fathers. But we hold on not only to that memory, but that pain, in some cases, dislike and hatred towards that, in my case, 1989 picture of that person. What we have to do is unlayer. Let's unlayer that thing. What was said in the moment? Was there any truth to what was said? The people around you, were they your friends? And the reason why I ask that, because in most cases, if I don't know you, you laughing at me means a hill of beans to me. Let's look at everything that was around you. And the most important part, the violator or the person that created the painful moment that hurt you and that you've been carrying around for 5, 10, 20 years, what was their state of mind? Were they under the influence of hurt themselves? Because as they say, hurt people hurt people. So we really have to unlayer this thing. And there's more, because I wasn't in your situation. So I can't unlayer with you, but I can tell you how to unlayer this thing so we can stop carrying this thing around like ugly, bad luggage. That is no way to live. You have to learn the process to forgive, because it is a process. Because the facts are, we've been practicing it. We have been in it so long that we're efficient in holding a grudge. We've become efficient in disliking this person for a reason that happened 20 years ago. And for that fact, the portrait of them from 1989 lives rent-free in the gallery of remorse, distrust, dislike, and hatred in your brain. And that person more than likely does not remember your name, does not remember the event, and most importantly, I'm going to be honest with you guys, in most cases, they did not know that they hurt your feelings. So you've been carrying around a bag full of hatred, and the person didn't even know they made a deposit of hatred in your bag. So for this holiday season and going into next year, learn the process of how to forgive. I love you guys. I want you to live the best life available to you. Carpe Diem. Thank you so very much for listening. I'm pretty much in every continent. I'm pretty much in every country. Argentina, Ukraine. Thank you for my brothers and sisters in Ukraine, Argentina, Brazil, Russia. And, I have you to thank for that. You've been spreading the word. I want to thank you. I've created the Breathe Journal. These journals are available on Amazon.com around the world, in your area, in your hemisphere, in your continent. You can go to Amazon.com, type in Chris Nella, and breathe, and you'll see the plethora. I like to use that word, the plethora of journals that I have readily available to help you with your walk towards mental health and well-being. I have a journal for men, women. I have one for professionals. I have one for DJs, for dancers. I have just a blank journal for you to capture your thoughts, to journal how you're feeling in your journey towards fantastic mental health and well-being. So go to Amazon.com. Anywhere in the hemispheres, type in Chris Nella, breathe. I have several myself. I use them. They're helpful, and they will help you and encourage you in your journey towards mental health and well-being. On the next episode of Nellascope, we're going to talk about why you are in real life a superhero, but you have to tune in. Next year is going to be dynamic, fantastic, awesome, and big. And I want my Nella Nation to know I love you, but God loves you more. Let that soak in for a minute. I will see you on the next episode of Nellascope. Live hard, love hard, and laugh hard. It's your man, Chris Nella, and I am gone.